Yeah, I'm still getting used to all this.
Yeah, I listened to some of your podcasts.
You did?
Yeah.
Which one?
I liked it. I liked your intro.
Which one was it?
Well, with Claire, I didn't honestly listen to a lot of it, but
Yeah, it's a long one.
I saved it at least.
Cool.
Did you have anybody come today?
No way.
One-on-one. Invite people one-on-one.
Yeah. Like the word's getting out.
Yeah, there you go.
I had
showing up every week and then.
Right. It's kind of. I think it will catch on. Hopefully, it will catch on. Like.
Yeah,
I mean.
one-on-ones.
Basically, it was like me and this guy live. By the way, what's up? It's kind of weird.
On Facebook or what are you
It's
doing?
Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
And you have it all at one time.
It's going simultaneously.
You're so high tech.
Well, this is what I'm trying. Like, I could get like. I feel like there we are. That's what it looks like right now.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys, we are live. Sakshizion in the house. I got my friend Darby here, and yeah, we're doing it live. If you guys are following, if you guys are on any of those platforms, support and follow, subscribe, like, share. Today we're going to talk about Mary Magdalene and the Easter egg origins, the origins of the Easter egg, and study group, Bhakti Yoga Club, and tonight we're going to discuss some of the seen with this white and red egg. It's a very fascinating story, so I'm happy to share. But first, we're going to jam. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Jai Ram Shri Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Shri Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Sita Ram Sita Ram. Sita Ram Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Sita Ram 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 Jaya Sita Ram. Sita Ram hey Sita Ram. Sita Ram Sita Ram. Sita Ram Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram hey Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Sita Ram Sita one above.
Yeah, this one.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
I'll see if more. Maybe after one, like maybe two-ish.
What?
Well, after be there at 1, so I'll probably be there at your house around 2. Can you be all day? Okay, I'll text you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good to see you. Thank you for coming through.
Love it. Thank you.
Let's put things away for today. The cushions?
Oh, yeah.
You can stay if you want.
Yeah, I'm good.
He's still doing
I'm gonna do a little more if you want to stick around.
Yeah, Vic said I should not walk because the wild boars are coming. And they attacked one of,
One more and then we'll be done.
Yeah.
So if you want to hang.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here a little longer. I just wanted to see
Sure,
if
sure.
the sun is down already.
Bye,
What's your
Darby.
name?
Darby.
Darby.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, good night.
All right, people tuning in live. I hope you guys are hearing me. I hope that you guys are enjoying this. I hope you got some mana, some juice from that kirtan.
Sit back.
See right there on the wall. In this room, you go out there, and then it's right. We're just gonna play a little more until she gets back. We'll just do a little more humming together.
Yeah, alright.
Are you familiar with the mantra of the vowel sound? So it's like basically the A.
Is it ah or is
It's
it a?
ah, and then there's A, and E,
Yeah.
and O, and then
And E is with a dot, right?
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
A, E, I, O, U.
Ah, we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
They used to use these vowel Gnostics would
Yeah.
use this as a type of kirtan, basically.
Yeah.
So this is my version of it.
Yeah.
Jai Shakti Ma. So thank you for being here again. What was your name?
Mariana,
Mariana, right.
Yeah. Can you hear
Wonderful.
from my accent where I come from? Shakti, since you are a world traveler, I guess.
I can't tell exactly. I was gonna say maybe
Just guess.
I was gonna say maybe Switzerland or Sweden.
Oh, right. Switzerland, bordering Switzerland. Not
Really?
Switzerland, but close by.
Where are you then?
Same language. I mean, Switzerland is...
Sweden.
No. The Swiss and the country I come from, we have the same language, but Switzerland has two more
Italian and
parts of the country, but they all speak 3 languages, almost every Swiss person.
really?
Yeah, but where I come from is Germany, and they speak also German. They have a dialect, but at school, when they learn writing, they learn High German. It's sometimes a little hard for them.
So German is your native language?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And you were born in Germany?
Yeah, and I live in Canada.
In Canada.
Yeah, in Mankind.
It was called the Festival of India.
Of India? Oh yeah.
The Hare Krishna festival they do there every year.
Where is it in?
On Vancouver Island, somewhere on that
yeah,
island.
somewhere in Nanaimo, Duncan, or Victoria, or Courtney, maybe further up north.
Yeah, I'm not sure which part.
It was in a park.
It was in a park, yeah. The Hare Krishnas they ran out.
Oh, the Hare Krishnas. Yeah, my son has been at the Hare Krishnas in Los Angeles when he was young.
Yeah, I went to that temple too, the Los Angeles one too.
And it was before COVID. He lived in a car. I mean, his car, because he wanted to save money and do art there, and that's what he did. And then he found the Krishnas, and they took them under their wings, and he learned a lot.
Dude, yeah, they're super sweet people. Interesting.
Yeah, and then he chopped a lot of vegetables,
and
he was vegetarian for a while, but then it changed again. But he still loves vegetables.
Really?
And makes nice meals for me.
Oh,
And I see him. Yeah.
that's super sweet. We're doing a live stream too. That's why I'm just gonna move this real quick.
Oh, that's live?
Yeah, there's a live stream.
So many people are at home.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people at home listening. So they've been enjoying the kirtan from home.
Yeah.
Mariana. Well, today we're speaking about Mary Magdalene. So that's your namesake, basically.
Yeah, Maria Magdalena.
Maria Magdalena. So the story that we're going to talk about today is the origin of the Easter egg. Christianity basically stole the Easter thing from paganism. And there is some truth to that. There is pagan elements to the Easter celebration, obviously, because the Easter is coming from the goddess Esther, Easter, and Astara, and the fertility goddess Ashra, Easter, basically, which is basically Isis.
Yeah.
All of these goddesses, when you hear about Ishtar, Ashera, Astara, it's usually a manifestation of Isis in some way or another as she travels throughout the world. So Mary Magdalene also represents this archetype, is an incarnation of Isis. And that Mary Magdalene was a high priestess in the cult of Isis, and part of joining him in sacred rites, sacred mysteries. It's very mysterious. Nobody knows for sure. There's just little glimpses and fragments, secret societies. This is known that they were married and they practice secret fertility in secret societies, but there were groups in the Middle Ages and even in the 1st and 2nd century AD known as Gnostics, Cathars, Nazarenes.
Catarsa.
And they believed that Jesus was married, and they believed in some of these alternative theories and alternative stories about Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They have legends that conflict with the Roman Church, basically. and the women, take away the power from the women. Obviously, in the Catholic Church, really strips away like the power of the woman in the Pauline Church. But we know for sure, if you look at the Gospels, if you look at the early Christian movement, we know that women were leaders of the Jesus movement. So what happened in Roman Catholicism is a very Pauline tradition, and is these lineages that are not from Paul and not from Peter, but are from James and Thomas, the original Nazarene church. And this church, the Nazarene church, it morphed throughout the ages into different formations, into Manichaeans, into Knights Templar, into Nazarenes, Mandaeans, you know what I mean? Like the Essenes, all these different, Essenes were earlier, but you have all these groups, Hermetics, Gnostics, that took like a secret lineage going back to Mary Magdalene. This is where you get the whole Da Vinci Code stuff with like the Knights connected to this secret gospel, basically, this secret Grail church, the secret church of Mary Magdalene, and so the story of the Easter egg, it has connection now. So the Jehovah's Witness, they actually claim that the Easter egg is a pagan symbol. But the Easter egg in Christian tradition, it has a much healthier, humbler origin. One tradition concerning Mary Magdalene says that following the death and resurrection of Jesus, she used her purpose was to protest to him that his governor in Judea, Pontius Pilate, and the two high priests had conspired and executed an innocent man, namely
Jesus. This is simple in the Kalevala in Finland is the symbol of the earth, how mountains, so everything in an egg, the waters, and I think this is such a beautiful shape, an egg. I mean, everyone should have an egg in there, of that eternal stream of egg shape, I would say now.
Yes, we all come out of the egg, right? It's kind of like, it goes back to that old joke question, what was first, the chicken or the eggs? They have a story of this egg at the beginning of creation in the causal waters. The Orphics, they had the egg with the serpent around it, which represented like creation and everything. And then you have in India, the Shiva Linga is a phallic symbol, but it's often in the shape of an egg, and it fits perfectly in the yoni, the female, right? And it represents fertility, cosmic creation, right? And that's, like you said, we all come from that. And what a powerful symbol, right? So according to this legend, though, Mary Magdalene, she uses her position as, a very high disciple of Jesus to get an invitation to a banquet given by the Roman Emperor Tiberius. She wanted to protest to him about Pontius Pilate. He went to the Emperor of Rome and greeted him with, "Christ has risen." Whereupon he pointed to an egg, said that the egg immediately turned blood red. So he was showing doubt. She goes to see him at the banquet, and then that egg is red over there because it's a white egg, and all of a sudden it turns red, right? This tradition of Mary Magdalene visiting the Caesar Tiberius can be found in the Gospel of Nicodemus, but it doesn't mention any eggs. Here's the verse. "To what death the lawless Jews have delivered him who did them 10,000 good deeds. Hear and be astonished. Who will let these things be heard by all the world? I shall go alone to Rome, to the Caesar. I shall show him what evil Pilate hath done in obeying the lawless Jews." The Gospel of Nicodemus. Caesar, but usually not something like an egg. Tiberius would not take the egg, but asked to know why she had offered it, lay in the tomb. And as the chick breaks out of the stone of the shell, so Jesus came forth from the words were true.
All right.
Instantly, the egg turned scarlet red in Mary Magdalene's hand, and she then spoke of Christ granting life through the shedding of his blood. It is from this incident that we have the custom of Easter eggs, which is in the Easter offering of Mary Magdalene. The early Christians imitated her, presenting each other with eggs. Hence, and the regeneration of Christians for a new and better life along with it. And for the Orthodox Christians, the egg symbolizes the empty rock tomb from which Jesus arose after his crucifixion. Now consider the following words from the Catholic Encyclopedia. Because the use of eggs was forbidden during Lent, this custom is found not only in the Latin, but also in the Oriental churches. Now, traditionally, Easter eggs were dyed throughout the Orthodox Christian world on Holy Thursday, and they are dyed red to represent the redeeming blood of Christ that was shed on the cross. The white egg, before being dyed, represents the white marble tomb where Christ's body was laid after he was taken down from the cross. And the hard shell of the egg symbolizes the sealed tomb of Christ. Now, consider Easter as an awakening, trespasses and sins, and buried in the tomb of materiality. So this story now is representing that each one of us has to kind of break, I personally, now there's a lot of scholars that disagree on whether Christ resurrected or not, or whether he even died or not. Some believe that Jesus survived the crucifixion and that he was either exiled or he fled. Other Christians believe he rose from the dead, right? He resurrected. Now you have all kinds of debates all over the place, right? I fled for his life, but he survived of that initiation, of that resurrection of consciousness, right? That's what a lot of the Gnostics believe too, early Christians. They were disagreeing crazy a lot just as much then. So Mary Magdalene, she's not only representing, she's telling us that secret through the egg and the power of resurrection, of regeneration, of breaking out of our shell, out of our tomb to become our Christ self. She's not only representing that, but she's also representing the goddess Ishtar, the goddess Easter, the goddess Ostara, Isis, the queen of heaven, and the initiator. And she's giving you the egg and painting it red for you, basically, and she's basically initiating you. And that's part of what has been hidden. There is a divine hieroskamos, they call it.
Yeah.
The male and female priesthood, the goddess Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, Isis and Osiris, Radha and Krishna, Shiva, Shakti.
Tristan and Isolde.
Right.
Yeah.
Even the Holy Spirit was originally thought of as female. Sophia, right?
Yeah.
The early
Wisdom.
Jews, they brought the Virgin Mary veneration back.
Yeah.
Like Pope John Paul II, he was really big into Mary veneration, but for a long time, they just hated women and just burnt women as witches.
Yeah, especially when they said something what they didn't want, or more out of wisdom and knowledge. Also, I wanted to add that in every human being, because you spoke of the higher consciousness that we want to now lift, relationships, whatever it is. That's why nowadays we have so many different relationships, and it's not only man and woman. They have to fight for it. To be the female representative or the male, and within that also having both. And I think it's all about finding our balance, finding our own secret in our wisdom and out of knowledge which we experienced and not just read in a book. So it has to be the chemical alchemy.
Alchemical.
Yeah, what do you say?
Alchemical.
Yeah, alchemical. And that's
I love William Blake.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and my partner, he's he knows a lot about William Blake, and he thinks he's a reincarnation. He can recite. He reads one poem, 2 pages long, and he can recite it right away.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's incredible. William Blake believed that Jesus went to Scotland. He believed that he walked on Scotland.
Scotland?
Yes.
Oh, really?
William Blake, he wrote that Jesus went to Scotland and Ireland, and in one of the main songs in Scotland, even today, it has a William Blake verse that they sing, and it's talking about Jesus's steps on the land of Scotland.
Oh, wonderful.
Right? And actually, there are legends that, like we were talking about, how Jesus survived possibly the crucifixion. Well, France, there's a lot of evidence to support that. Well, some believe that even Jesus went to France too and was on a decoy behind just Mary Magdalene, somebody that was posing as Mary Magdalene by herself. But she wasn't a threat, because Jesus went to Scotland, and one of the burials, or the burial of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, is actually in Scotland, and that they supposedly have this son called Martin. Martin. Of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Another son they say is, I think it's Judah or Judas or Judah or Justice, Jesus Justice. And then they say in France there's a legend that they have a daughter named Sarah the Egyptian. She's also known as Tamar.
Oh, Tamar. Yeah.
Tamar, right? Which is a very sacred name from the Old Testament. Tamar and it's through Tamar and Judah's having twins that Jesus can claim his lineage through David like that. But supposedly they have a daughter named Sarah, but her secret name is Tamara or Tamar. And they also have churches and grottos for Sarah the Egyptian. One of her other names, and she's very popular with the Egyptian, is the Black Goddess, right?
That's right.
Interesting that in southern France, you have this daughter of Jesus and Mary Magdalene known as Sarah the Egyptian, Tamar, or Sarah Lakali, and she's depicted as a black. You have this legend that Jesus possibly went to Scotland as well, so it's very fascinating stuff. One of the other things that I wanted to mention was all of this stuff relates to even older traditions. We talked about Isis and Persephone. This all goes back even to the East, and Shiva and Shakti, Radha and Krishna, Helios, Koros in the Mediterranean islands of Rhodes, right? And this is basically a bridal mysticism. This is a type of what they call in India Rasa Lila, where his chorus dance, where he dances with the nymphs, or he dances with the maids, or the muses, or the bridal mysticism, this hieros gamos, in the ancient world, anointing Jesus's feet, with the oil, with her hair. That was a marriage ritual, in the bridal mysticism, right? So all this is getting back to the spring season, right? We just had Holi, where like they throw colors at everybody in India, celebrating spring, right? And celebrating Radha and Krishna, their love and nature and spirit, right? And then you have Ramadan just started as well. So this is all a very this is a time of renewal, regrowth, resurrection, Easter, all of these, the egg, all of this symbol, Jesus' resurrection.
Life goes on.
Right.
Life is renewed. Life is growing. Life is right here, wants to be created and move and transformed again.
In Egypt, when they grew corn and they saw the corn stalk sticking out, they saw it as a representation of Osiris. He was, because Osiris was often depicted as green, right? And he assembled him, and then he has this erect phallus, which is the obelisk, right? And she bursts Osiris, right? Or bursts Horus through this. It's the same ritual with the corn stalk, and you see the erect corn husk popping out, and it's green, and they strip it apart, right?
Yeah.
And they bring, it's a harvest ritual basically. And you know, same with Dionysus, god of vegetation, and Jesus is the bringing the new wine, you know what I mean? And this is, you know, it's beautiful, and we should remember to, you know, to breathe in the roses, breathe in the fresh air. We should remember to dance with nature and listen to the birds singing every morning. Bob Marley said, "Three about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright." This whole energy of spring and new life, you know, that's kind of what the ancient Christians, they were kind of, uh, they were following these mystical seasonal feasts. You know, they were following the feasts, the seasonal feasts. They were following the stars, astrotheology. They were reinterpreting the ancient myths in their time. You know, theater was a big thing in the ancient traditions, and so they would depict these, you know, fertility and seasonal myth theater, but also in the secret garage would act out the same stories. And so we are, what's amazing, and here's why this is also very important. This is so powerful, but it's dangerous too. Not too long ago, we would be killed for talking about this stuff. Like the Cathars, the Gnostics, the Templars, all these different groups were slaughtered by the Catholic Church. Wherever the Catholic Church went and they started to do their inquisitions, they wanted to wipe out heresy, right? And, you know, only a few hundred years ago, they were still doing this. We only found the Gnostic Gospels in 1945.
Oh yeah.
And so this information is liberating. You know, they buried these books in a cave in Egypt of the church fathers and stuff. And finally in 1945 we discovered the Nag Hammadi library, and now finally we have the books of the Gnostics, and that's why these are so important. And it's important that we you know, share this stuff, and we know about them, because the church didn't want us to know about it. Why? Because this stuff liberates us.
That's right.
It teaches us that we can be Christ, that we are gods and goddesses, that we have the power of manifestation, that we have the power of creation, that we have the power of uniting and uplifting, like, and being, you know, we don't have to go through the church or the Pope or a priest.
All with us. And
Right?
Rudolf Steiner, I'm
Oh, yeah.
surprised you don't have any book
I love
by him,
Yes.
because I am a follower of Rudolf Steiner, something like many Indian teachers
love
too, into deeds, because when he gave his first lectures in Stuttgart in a cigarette factory, Waldorf Astoria, the workers said after he spoke, "Great ideas, Herr Steiner." And so they created the first Waldorf school in next to the factory, that the man and Mr. Motis, who was open to that idea, he took the whole Waldorf Astoria then to New York City, because they were Jews, and then I had a big hotel there, and there was also a big Waldorf school.
Kona Pacific?
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter went there.
Yeah?
Yeah, my daughter went
Yeah.
there. She's been to 2 Waldorf schools now. She went to a public charter Waldorf in Bloomington, Indiana, and she went to this one as well.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm happy
definitely
to
a
be
fan.
here first time. And
Another friend that's also a follower of him, he's publishing a reinterpretation of the Book of Miracles, I think it's called. The Course in Miracles. So before we end, I was going to read a verse from the Gospel of Thomas, since we spoke about the Gospel. Yeshu said, "Many times have you desired to hear these words which I am saying to you, and you have no one else to hear them from. There will be days when you will look of life withdrawing from a movement, leaving an empty form, Yeshu here warns his followers that his special insight may not always be available, urging them to take advantage of that which lieth before them. As it is written, once the human opportunity has been lost, it will be as hard to find another as it is for it through the single golden yoke that floats randomly around the vast ocean. They themselves have not entered, nor have they allowed to enter those who wish to. You, however, be as wise as serpents and as innocent as doves. It is recorded in our ancient scrolls that Nazarene tradition is older than Judaism. Jewish scribes and Pharisees muddled the Nazarene Kabbalah into the Jewish Kabbalah, twisted the most sublime truths, and secreted the key from it contained the keys to unlock the passageway portals of Nazarutha, which are a balanced teaching, hymns, and form. Nazaruthian gnosis is that which transcends the dualistic limitations of yin-yang, dove-serpent mentality. Compassion mingled with wisdom births. Nazaruth 11:11 has Yeshu saying this: O scholars of evil, you fast, pray, and pay charity, but you do not practice what you have been ordered to do, and you teach what you do not know. So what you decide is evil. You seek repentance by statements and wishes, and you practice with desire. Does it save you? Truth, I tell you, do not be like a sieve from which good flour comes and just the husks remain. You produce wisdom from your mouths, yet malice remains in your chests. By the truth, I tell you, surely your heart, by the truth, I tell you, you have spoilt your hereafter. Mending this world is more beloved to you than mending your hereafter. So which people are more lost than you, if you know? Woe for you! But what time you keep describing the path for the advance, while you remain hesitatingly as you invite the people of the world in order that they leave it for you. Slowly, slowly, woe to you! What kind of benefit is there for a dark house that you put a lamp over its roof, yet inside there is loneliness and darkness? O slaves of the world is about to shake you from your roots and throw you upon your faces to the king, the collector, while you are nude individuals, so he confronts you with your evil and pride. The Tarmadiah tend, and bring to harvest all the tender. I ascend thee, Mount Carmel. I ascend thee, Mount Carmel. 12 vines awaited me. They So we see, like, in the archons in the Gnostic typology or the Gnostic terminology, kings, dictators, right? And they know some of the secrets, but they don't go inside the kingdom of heaven, and they don't want to let anyone else in either. But all of this secret wisdom is within you. Not let the naysayers and the rulers of this world stop you from finding your true light, right? And following the way.
Was he an Essener? Essener?
Essene?
Yeah, Essene.
Was Jesus an Essene? It's a branch of the Essenes.
Yeah.
So the Essenes predate the Nazarenes. So Jesus was, were Essenes as well, or that the Nazarenes was a branch of the Essene movement.
And the writing, what was that? Aramaic?
Aramaic.
Yeah, Aramaic. I know.
Aramaic is like a type of Hebrew, actually. It's a type of regional Hebrew. And it's possible that Jesus knew Greek too.
Yeah.
It's possible that Jesus was very educated. Some scholars think that he was illiterate, that all the disciples were illiterate, and that it was like a later generation that was more literate and wrote the Gospels. But it's possible that Jesus himself traveling to India and other places. I personally believe he did travel to India, but even if you don't believe that, he most likely was educated in Egypt. And so it's possible he spoke Greek. Even in Galilee, Galilee was Hellenized. So the Greek theater, the Greek religion was very, very present in Jesus' time. So he was very exposed. The Jews of his time, of his area, were Hellenized Jews. A few are in Aramaic, and then a couple are
But
in
it's also 100 years later, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Mark is probably the earliest, and the letters of Paul are super early as well.
Yeah.
And those, some scholars date to like 50 AD, or even 50 or 60, 70 AD. So those are extremely early.
Yeah.
But the Gospel of Thomas, some scholars believe that it's older than Paul's letters and older than Mark. It's just that the version that we have is a later version from like 100 AD or 120 AD. That's what they think.
Yeah.
But newer version of an older version of Thomas. So some scholars believe that the gospel being crucified, all it is a sayings gospel.
Right.
It's like different sayings of Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why they believe that it's possible that this is really old. There's a hypothetical gospel known as Q, which is also known Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke were based on Q, and maybe like the Gospel of Thomas and some other like narrative gospels possibly. But yeah, the Essenes, were, a mystery school, and the Nazarenes were a mystery school. So this tradition was not what we think of as Judaism today.
Yeah.
It was a different type.
Oh, yeah.
It was what I personally think, based on my research, it was any pagan mysteries, the Egyptian mysteries, the Greek mysteries, and the Jewish mysteries. Strong evidence of strong Egyptian, and even like the early Christians. A lot of early Christianity developed in Alexandria. So you had the Egyptian religion right next to these early Christians.
Yeah.
And they were influencing each other.
Scene I wanted to add to, there is a bread in Germany, it's still called the Essener Brot, Assin bread, and
really?
I don't know if it's originally or they, maybe some made it up because they knew a little bit about it, but it's interesting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The Essene, the Roman Church, and then you have the Eastern Church, whether it's Ethiopian or Assyrian or Syrian Orthodox or Malankara or Greek.
Orthodox, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Orthodox or Oriental Orthodox or the Church of the East. These different Eastern churches, they have variations on the bread ritual. When they do communion, it's not always the same. There's slight variations, and churches, they still retain a lot of the more original Nazarene traditions, whereas Roman Church, yes, they have some of the original stuff too, but they change stuff. You know what I mean? They definitely change
modernize
stuff.
it.
And it's Pauline, remember? It strips the goddess out of it.
That's right.
And whereas, the Eastern Church, it still has some of those original Nazarene or Mark.
Yeah.
And then you have these Gnostic churches that went underground, basically. They went underground and became... So sometimes the Mary Magdalene Church, it suffered probably the most persecution society. It's like a secret society that like presidents of the United States, the main symbols is 322, and there's a lot of different theories on what it means. Some say it represents Genesis 3 verse 322, which talks about the of March 22nd. And what I found was interesting is that this year Ramadan started on 322, this time of year. So the spring equinox. So what is interesting and what people misunderstand sometimes is that had to go in hiding, and because we were being killed for this knowledge, and the witches, these were good herbalists, you know what I mean? They weren't all evil witches. They didn't do stuff with Satan and all that stuff. Then you have like real Satanists, you know what I mean, and real dark magicians and stuff that get into like trying to rule the world and using dark magic to manipulate people and doing sacrifices and all this stuff. Well, it's the same. What people need to understand is that the gnosis, the knowledge, but it's how you use the knowledge. So gnosis, these Gnostic teachings and wisdom, the secret mysteries and the metaphysics and the secret esoteric occult wisdom, it's not bad or good. It's how you use these occult powers and occult wisdom and knowledge and secret teachings. It's how you use it. So the secret societies like the Skull and Bones and the secret...
what is that? What are they called?
Skull and Bones.
Oh, yes.
This is the secret society at Yale University, where George Bush and John Kerry, they were all members. Bush Sr., he was a member.
Was that the Brotherhood too?
The Brotherhood of Death, they were called. Right. And they used like the Skull and Bones. They supposedly have... Basically, what people need to understand is that the knowledge, the wisdom, they're getting access to the knowledge and wisdom. Maybe not all of it, but they're getting knowledge and wisdom. You're getting knowledge and wisdom over here. The Freemasons, you have the Rosicrucians, you have the Knights Templar, you have yoga traditions. All these traditions, esoteric Christianity, are learning these mystical... Some of these secret societies they weaponize it. Basically, they weaponize this knowledge, but we need to take it and use it for the good, for the light.
Of course, for our earth and for our spiritual, next step where we get evolution, but also for our children to teach them well and about no hope. But we cannot teach that. We have to find that spark.
These dark magicians, look what they're doing. They're trying to keep us stuck in the matrix. They're trying to get us anymore.
That's right. That's why I come here and I'm not on stream.
Right. We're thankful for technology, and utilizing the wisdom of the past with also the wisdom of the future. And it's about balance, right? It's about, metaphysics and watering the good seeds. Jesus talks about the parable of the sowers, right?
Yeah.
They're not ready yet.
Yeah.
You throw the seeds in stony ground, they're not ready yet either. You throw the seeds on pearls to swine, right? It's the same metaphor. It's like you have to, share the wisdom, share the light, but, it's also, that's why you call it secret, because not everybody's ready for it, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you for chant, and you're welcome to come back in, and then I'm going to end the stream after the chant.
Oh, yeah, all right.
I'm super grateful that Mariana showed up, and she's dropping her wisdom as well. She's teaching some amazing call it quits. We're going to end the stream, guys. Hope you guys have had wonderful...
10%. Connected to iPhone 10.
Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Princess Maria, Luna Helena, Cleopatra Selena. Descend on earth from the point of love within the heart of God. Let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Om Peace. Amen. A few comments, that's cool. Let's take a look at these real quick. Sasha says, she was Jesus' wife, and I'm grateful you're telling the truth. What a shame they had to call her a prostitute so Jesus would be unchaste. But of course, I believe Eve is also man-made, as it was Adam and Lilith. And Lilith was Adam's equal, and man could not have that. We've been lied to for millennia. Thank you, Sasha. I agree with you 100%. Live stream. I hope you guys got a lot out of it tonight. This is the Holy Grail quest, and we believe that there's a Holy Grail within you. Whether you believe it is a cup, Mary Magdalene, the womb, or just the quest for purpose, the Holy Grail quest is worth going on that search, on that quest, on that adventure, so that you find the truth within you. For Yeshua said, the kingdom of heaven is, friends, always